This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Wednesday? A Wednesday that feels like a Friday. A Wednesday that feels like a Thursday. That's what it feels like to me. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. BamaCentral.com. You guys are watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. Lots of people are watching on the Bama Central YouTube channel. It had 15,000 views yesterday on the Bama Central YouTube channel on all our football stuff. So it was a good day. I know that's not I shouldn't have said that number. That's not really a huge number when you talk about YouTube. I said 15 million views. That's what it was.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? Thousands right now.
That's right.
6 figures next year. Well, we're working our way up right here.
That's right. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, hanging out with Theo Fernandez and you guys on the voicemail line on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Call us at 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to leave us a voicemail talking about Alabama football, basketball. You want to talk Alabama basketball? The schedule got finalized yesterday. You can do that too. Or you can talk about our faces. It's okay. Theo is looking much better than mine this morning. Follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _ on the Twitter machine. We're going to get into some Ty Simpson conversations. We're going to get into some Alabama defense conversations. We're going to get into Brian Robinson. We're going to get into a lot here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. But first, we want to tell you about our friends Derek Daniel State Farm. He hosts the program in the basement. You can call Derek Daniel today at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs, home, life, auto insurance needs, renter's insurance, boater's insurance. You kind of passed the boat on boater's insurance for the year, but if you buy one in the off season, you might want to have Derek Daniel insure it. Trailers, all kinds of things. I know if you're moving, Theo's already got renter's insurance. Last week he updated his car insurance, so he's bundling with State Farm and saving. So call Derek Daniels today at 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today.
You know, I bought a boat yesterday, Joe.
You bought a boat? Yeah.
Bought myself a little kayak, right? Went down to Harbor Freight, picked it up, and go fishing out on that.
Okay. Well, whatever you catch, we can fry up right there. We can fry up at the house.
Absolutely. That is the plan. And that's personal news. Got to share with the audience. Right?
Okay. Wow. Congratulations, Theo, the boater. I'm not sure if the Derek Daniel is sponsoring a kayak or is insuring a kayak.
I think, look, if something takes the kayak down, I think you just got to accept that. I don't think we need to insure that then.
Well, it might fall under your renter's insurance if you're keeping it at the house.
Yeah, like if damage happens to it at the house, then it's covered.
I think so. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Watch out for Theo on the water with the kayak. Good morning, Theo. How we doing?
Doing great. How are you, Joe?
I'm all right. We're here. We're middle of the week. We're midway through the week. I really need game week.
Yes.
I really, really need game week because we're at the end of the tank here.
Like, what else is there left? That's kind of the general story of this week.
We're at the end of the tank. Today, this afternoon, I'm going to be joined by a Florida State writer, and we're going to play that tomorrow morning on the program. We're going to be joined by Dustin Lewis. Dustin Lewis, Florida State Seminoles on SI, is going to join us tomorrow. So there will be a Florida State conversation to be played tomorrow. Tomorrow, Theo's got class, so he's going to get out of here at an appropriate time. He's going to go to class. We're going to play our interview and our discussion with Dustin Lewis, and we're also going to be joined by Chloe Wade. We want to get you starting to think about September 11th right there at 2 Dimes. Chloe Wade, the New Era Wrestling ring announcer. She's going to be joining us to talk New Era Wrestling and to kind of get you fired up for that show. So we'll have about 20-25 minutes with Theo. We'll have about 20-25 minutes with Dustin, and we'll have about 20-25 minutes with Chloe, and that'll be our show tomorrow. So that's already planned. We got to start brainstorming something for Friday. Maybe we'll see if Katie Wyndham can join us for Friday. Oh, I know you've got your menace is coming in. Theo,
yeah, we already got our guest lined up.
Theo and Hunter are going, or Henry are going to fight on Friday, so that'll be interesting. I probably will say like 5 words and just watch them fight for 45 minutes or so.
This studio will be literally burning from just the heat between me and Henry. Like, it's going to get intense in here, man.
See, that's what y'all keep saying, but I don't know if Henry's got the capability.
Wow.
Like, every time I talk to him, I feel like I'm having to plug him in and reset him. Hey, buddy, this is what we're doing today. But once the computer is on, once it's booted up and going, he's good. But I feel like he needs constant resets.
You put a mic in front of that man, you don't need to do anything else.
Now he knows he can't like sit here and curse, right?
We'll inform him.
Okay. All right. So he's got to be, I mean, a curse word's okay, but like, we're trying not to curse on the show.
I've said probably like 4 or 5 in all my
right,
shows, so.
right. And more often than not, I'm going through and either, or letting it go.
Keeping the language clean.
Right. Which we try to. I know we've got young listeners as well, young Alabama fans as well. So let's
Friday
get it.
Be a fun show.
Friday will be a fun show. But now we're on Wednesday, and we got to take the Coach Saban advice. Be where your feet are. Our feet are at Wednesday, are on Wednesday. And so we got to make this a good 40 minutes or so, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. So what do we want to go with, Theo? Let's go right into what you wanted to get into yesterday, but I cut you off. You wanted to talk about Ty Simpson's running ability, Ryan Grubb addressing that yesterday. And so, yeah, why don't you just take us down the path you were trying to lead me down yesterday, but I said, no, we're running out of time.
So basically, we talked about Ty Simpson having some sneaky type athleticism. I really think that we are going to see some very, very fun things out of him this year in the run game. Now, Grubb got asked about designed runs, and I'm pulling up the exact quote right now. And the answer he gave really got the gears turning in my head. It's got me pretty excited for what we're going to see out of him in the run game. Here we go. And first of all, he brought up Michael Penix and how they didn't really run him until later in the season. Same thing's being said about Ty Simpson, where they're looking for those opportunities to get him involved. They acknowledge that, yeah, he is a good runner. I think this is one of those situations where we really don't see him run that much in the beginning of the season. We save it for later in the year. And the first thing that comes to my mind, and this should be the first thought for any time you have a situation like this, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, 2019 Fiesta Bowl. You're in the college football playoff semifinal against Ohio State. And if you remember this game, late in the second half, we got like about a minute 30 left, and Trevor Lawrence just uncorks like a 70-yard touchdown run. It's one of those moments where you look and it's like, that fully changed the game. Nobody was expecting this guy to be able to pull out that kind of run. It wasn't something you'd seen him do all that much. Not that Trevor Lawrence didn't move that much, but something you hadn't seen a ton. I think that Ty Simpson, we're going to see him down the stretch of this season have a play like that, have a play where you really just see that athleticism on display in a huge moment, creating yards on a play that might have collapsed, or maybe it wasn't designed to run. And I'm excited. I think that it'll be such a different look from Milroe, obviously, where you're almost always expecting a run. It's never going to catch the defense off guard. I think the more I think about what Ty Simpson can do for this offense, the more excited I get.
Well, I think that you're on to something there, but I don't think it's going to be saved that long till late in the year. I think that was Ryan Grubb speaking philosophically. I think Ty Simpson's going to be moving week 1 against Florida State. Now, I don't think that they're going to call a lot of Ty Simpson, but I think that there's going to be some times where it breaks down on him. I think he's a good little scrambler. Now, is he as good as Jalen Milroe? No. But I will tell you, I don't see Ty Simpson constantly looking to whatever sideline he's closer to and looking to get out. Jalen Milroe drove me crazy. Oh my gosh, drove me crazy last year. I'm running and I could run 60 yards right up the middle, but I'm looking for my cut to the outside. How can I get to the outside? How can I get to the outside, get to the sideline? And of course, the sideline's your buddy. You can use that to get out of bounds and not get hit. But I think Ty Simpson's going to be the type where I'll go straight at the middle and I'll just slide. I'll just slide right in front of you. And, whether it's 4 yards or 40 yards, I got what I got. And I took a slide, and you guys are now doing, why didn't we get to him? Why didn't we take his head off? I think he's going to move a lot this year. But I do agree with you in the sense of quarterback run will be called really sporadically, really sparingly. I think quarterback run is going to be called pretty infrequently enough to where not that the defense won't know it's coming or won't have it in their game plan. Excuse me. They will have it in their game plan, but it's going to be like, oh, it's the third quarter. It's late in the third quarter. We've been getting hammered by Richard and Daniel and Dre and a couple more weeks. Jam. We've been getting hammered by the wide receiver or by the running backs, and he's hit Jeremy Bernard on like 5 underneath passes, and Jeremy Bernard's running for 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, and so they're really on edge for all the other Alabama weapons. Right, they're playing two guys. They're playing their safeties, basically doubling up Ryan with the corner because they don't want to get beat over the top, and so you've got space underneath, and the other side is basically terrified of Jeremy Bernard's route running ability, and it's here's your quarterback read. Here's your read, and Ty's staring at the defensive end. Well, the defensive end has seen Jam or Richard or Daniel or Dre take this carry for 4, 6, 8, 10 yards, whatever. And so he's crashing. Mm-hmm. All game long, he's been seeing it. And it's going to be, we're going to pop this out, and there's 15 yards. And he's going to slide and give the first down sign. I think Ty's running ability is underrated. And we heard Kalen say that basically on Saturday. It'll be interesting. Do you still have his quote pulled up, Ryan
Grubbs?
Yeah, I wanted you to read the part where he talks about this offense. You can just control F. Yeah. This offense operates better with a quarterback passing, I think is what it was. Quarterback passing, not running. So you can do control F, quarterback passing. Is probably the key words in those quotes.
You're better off with your starter being able to throw the football in this offense than run it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted right
there. We certainly look for those opportunities because I think Ty's a good runner. We'll make sure we have things for him, taking care of him, making sure he's upright. It's important. That's Ryan Grubb yesterday.
So I think that he will run this year. What do we think here? I mean, Jalen ran for way too many yards. 2024.
Yeah, Alabama, it should not come anywhere close to that number.
What number was it? It was Jalen ran for 726. I think Ty's going to be around. Let's see, in 2023, what did Jalen run for as well? Jalen ran for 531 in 2023. Okay, 22. What about you? Bryce ran for 185 in 22. In 21, Heisman Trophy season, Bryce ran for 0 yards, 81 attempts, flat 0 flat yards. So net 0 because of sack yardage, right? Great. What about you, Mac? Mac with your running ability that doesn't exist. 14 yards for Mac Jones. What about 19 with Tua 17 yards. Mac Jones ran for 36 in 19. Tua again in 18, right? So you got Tua for 190. And then here we go back. You're going to go with Jalen Hurts in 17. Jalen Hurts with 855. So what's the Ty Simpson number? The Ty Simpson number over under. My over under number says 249.5. So for 250 or less.
You see, I was going to go higher. I was going to go closer to 350.
Okay.
And I think that's a line where I'd have to think. But I think I'd go over 250. Another telling number though. Mike Penix 2023.
Oh yeah, good idea. Do you have his?
Yeah.
What is that?
8 rushing yards. Like that to me, that's pretty telling, I'd say. Now, I don't know how closely Ty Simpson's QB style is going to mirror what Mike Penix did.
Quarterback in 22, Mike Penix also had 92 rushing yards.
Yeah. So that's 100 yards over.
Dylan Morris had
29.
29. And then they were at Fresno State the year before that, right? 2021, Fresno.
Well, 21 was Fresno and 2020.
So 21, their quarterback rushed for 68 yards. Jalen Henderson. Jake Hayner rushed for 18 yards. In 2020, COVID year, obviously the fewer games, it's 6 games. They had a quarterback, Jake Hayner, rushed for 18 yards. Ben Wooldridge rushed for 13 yards. So
Ryan Grubb QBs do not run a ton, huh?
yeah. So is 250 too high?
Yeah, I mean, having looked at these numbers now, and let's say though, I mean, Jake Hayner was incredible in college.
Yeah.
Mike Penix was obviously, we know how special he was. Like when you got 2 QBs who can just throw the ball that well, kind of changes things. And you had 2 offenses at Fresno and Washington that were probably top 15 minimum when you include Fresno State in FBS. So I don't know if I love Ty Simpson. I don't know if he's the
all right, here we go.
Caliber of QB that those other guys were.
In 2019, Kalen's the offensive coordinator at Indiana, right? Peyton Ramsey rushes for 252 yards from the quarterback. And they also had Penix. Penix rushed 22 rushes, 119 yards. So collectively, what's that? Basically 75, roughly 375.
I think I'd adjust my line to right around 300. I think I'd put it at 300.5 rushing yards, and I think I'd have to think pretty hard about whether I'm taking the over or the under on that.
Right. Kalen's the offensive coordinator at Fresno State in 2018, and he's got a quarterback, Marcus. How would you say? Marcus McMarvion. Wow, that's a great name. Marcus McMarvion rushed for 294.
I feel good around 300, and that's a good number where you're getting involved in the run game enough, but you're certainly not taking away from any of the great running backs that you have in that backfield.
Oh yeah, that's the issue here. Like last year, and I guess this is a more conceptual issue. Jalen's running ability was incredible last year.
Yes,
but his don't hate me, but his lack of passing ability really jammed up the entire running game. Because when you're only operating on 15% of your passing playbook, 20% of your passing playbook, it really makes it easier on the defense. I've got to sit here and I'm staring at 4. I'm staring at my read key on the line, tackle or guard, right? And I'm trying to determine pass or run. And as soon as I determine pass, I only have a few options that I know or what's happening out of these formations, right? Yeah. And so I can get to my spots. I can get my coverage responsibilities quicker because you're operating out of fewer passing concepts. Thus, gets me more eyes in the backfield, more eyes ready to stuff up the run. And if it's not Jalen running, well, we can stuff up Jam and Justice Haynes and then Richard Young. Like, it just the lack of a full passing game. See, people are so worried about, well, we didn't have a traditional running game last year. The running back couldn't run the football. It's because you couldn't pass the ball. It's because you couldn't sit here and go, oh, my passing playbook is at 100%. We can operate this entire playbook, and Billy defensive back has to really be aware. Billy safety can't be flying down, filling the alley because he knows what it is and what it isn't.
Like, think about how miserable watching the end of that Tennessee game was last year. How one-dimensional that offense looked. And
all you got to do is watch the bowl game.
Oh, don't even get me started on that ReliaQuest Bowl. But that does sum it up very well.
Same thing at Oklahoma, really. By the end of the year, it was just like, just pulling teeth to move the football because you're operating at such a small portion of your passing game. And it's like, well, we know Ryan is probably going to get a fly route here. It's just like, well, they might throw it in the corner of Ryan. And obviously he was such a talent that you have to respect that. But like when the mental game is so simplified for the defense, it allows them to, okay, I can be in the right spots because the athletes in the SEC are quality. You're not playing in high school. Like in high school, you can out athlete people. Mm-hmm. And in some situations, in a few situations in college, you can out athlete people, but you got to start making these defenders think a little bit. And once they're thinking, that's when they slow down. That's when they start taking false steps, start not trusting their read keys. And I think that's what you're going to see this year. The entire day, like people. Let's go back to the scrimmage on Saturday. You had people. Ryan said Ty's 12 of 15 with 2 drops. Well, you've heard online discourse, and I heard it from my birdies that Ty was taking a lot of underneath passes, coming off of his first read and going to his second read, taking the guy the verbiage that my birdie told me in between underneath the linebackers, taking passes, a lot of passes underneath the dropping linebacker. Well, great. And people are, is Ty Simpson to check John Charlie? He might be, but I honestly think the defensive backs at Alabama were all over the deeper shots, the deeper opportunities. So Ty is making you realize, we're going to cover. You're going to have to cover the whole field, and that's going to open up the run game. That's going to open up your Richard Youngs, your Dre Washington, and your Daniel Hill in these early moments. So I think that Ty's mental acuity is going to allow Alabama's offense to really operate at a higher level this season.
Absolutely agree. And if he's throwing checkdowns work. I don't want to hear anyone getting on him or complaining about Ty Simpson, leaning on the check down too much, or you can't trust him for certain reasons. And because I know that people are going to look for anything to say about him. I just
Mason Woods.
Yeah, right. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about there.
Well, why don't you can say his name? It's okay. I told, by the way, Dax, I told Mason. Mason's on vacation. I told him that you called for him yesterday. I said, give us a call back and you can rebuttal.
I cannot wait to hear Dax's call after week 1, regardless of how the game goes. It's going to be a great call.
Ty Simpson, 17 of... No. Ty Simpson, 21 of 30. 21 of 30 for 217 yards with 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. No picks in this.
Oh,
like 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and that stat line, I'm okay with as a debut.
Yeah, I think there might be an interception.
I definitely could see there being
Earl Little Jr., right? A former Alabama guy, sitting back there waiting to pick him off.
Yeah, if you just leave a pass hanging too long, or you're too late on one of your reads, you're allowed to throw a pick, and I could see that interception coming early too. Like I could see it coming on one of those first couple drives.
21 of 30 is 70%. That's maybe a little high, maybe 18 of 30.
Because 65 is what DeBoer and Grubb talk about. It's like their magic number at
65 or better.
Yeah.
All right, Theo. Let's move to something a little more fun. What do you think of Auburn? We didn't talk about Auburn yesterday.
We did not.
War Eagle. Oh my gosh. You got people going nuts over this. I personally don't give 2 rips about Auburn claiming 9 more national championships yesterday. Retiring Cam Newton's jersey a couple days earlier, and then, which also is silly, but then claiming 9 more national championships officially. Let's take both pieces. Cam Newton's jersey is absolutely worthy of being retired.
They should have retired it at halftime of the 2010 national championship game.
Oh gosh, what a great player! My personal opinion is the greatest single season I've ever witnessed. A lot of people give that to Joe Burrow, and some people give it to Vince Young. But to me, it's Cam Newton. But my only thing is I'm anti-jersey retirement because if you do it now at a place like Auburn where there's not like greatness falling off the trees, it's okay. But like my Bears have a long and rich history, over 100 years of football with the Bears. They have way too many jerseys that are retired, way too many. And obviously, that's only a 53-man roster, so like you're not operating out of the entire 0 to 100 or 0 to 99 on the jersey scale, but way too many jerseys that are retired. Alabama doesn't, to my knowledge, have a single jersey retired. I mean, you could throw Leroy Jordan, Johnny Musso, you could throw Joe Namath, you could throw lots of names out there that probably deserve to have their numbers retired. 22, 12, 54, 26 is a big one. Bobby Humphrey. You can just pick and choose, right? Barrett Jones, 75, right? You can throw out a lot of numbers that deserve to be retired based on accomplishments and quality of player. I think that when you're doing that, you're honoring your legends in the wrong way. Throw their names up on the on the terrace in the second level of the stadium. Put them in a ring of honor. Put them in a school hall of fame. Put their statue out front. Cam's statue is already out front, but make them a statue. You go to Oklahoma and they've got all their Heisman Trophy winners in a row in statues, and I thought that was super, super cool. I'm just anti-jersey retirement as a way to honor their legends.
I fully and completely disagree with you on this one, Joe.
Okay, go for it.
I think as a Yankees fan.
Oh, exactly. Way too many jerseys. How many single digits can you if Billy baseball player plays for the Yankees and wants to and says, "Hey man, I want to wear 2." Well, you're not wearing number 2. You're not wearing number 9. You're not wearing number 8. 6 is Mantle, right? You're not wearing any of these single digit numbers.
Yeah. And you know
Mariano Rivera,
that
42.
Is for a good reason.
Mariano, 42 or 47?
Yeah, 42.
Okay.
That is for a good reason. I'm going to read you off some numbers right
Go
here.
for it.
Number 2, Jeter. 3, Ruth. 4, Gehrig. 5, DiMaggio. 6, Joe Torre. Led us to 4 titles. 7, Mantle. 8, Yogi Berra.
Mm-hmm.
You look at those numbers.
So
Just
I can be 1 or 9 if I like single digits.
No, because those are retired too. Because number 9 is Roger Maris, the guy who held the AL home run record forever. 10 is Phil Rizzuto, Hall of Famer, one of the most underrated infielders ever, who was also the Yankees broadcaster for years. 15, Thurman Munson, captain, MVP, died unfortunately while playing in a plane crash. You just look at these numbers. The story of the Yankees is these players.
Oh, I agree.
And you know what? If Aaron Judge has to come up in the system and wear number 99 because all the other numbers are taken, that's okay. You create your own legacy with your own number, but you have to acknowledge the work of those guys who built up the franchise. And look, the Yankees are obviously such an exaggerated example because they are the single most successful franchise in sports history. And at the same time, like some of the numbers that they retired, like Paul O'Neill, great player for New York, did not need his number 21 retired, if we're being honest. Didn't need to happen. He was a very good player. He was a key part of, I believe, 3 or 4 World Series titles. Yeah, I think you have to be really special to get that number retired.
The Bears have 14 retired numbers. 3, 5, 7, 28, 34, 40, 41, 42, 51, 56, 61, 66, 77, 89. Some of those numbers, George Halas, the owner, 7. Walter Payton, 34. Brian Piccolo, 41. Gale Sayers, 40. Sid Luckman, 42. Dick Butkus, 51. Like, these are great names. Mike Ditka, 89. But, like, and these names all mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me personally. And just like if you're an Auburn fan, number 2, Cam Newton, and then we're trying to bring it back here, means a lot to an Auburn fan. And like when I think of Cam Newton, I think of that 2010 season, and I think of, you know, all the Alabama fans talk about the kick 6 being the worst Iron Bowl loss ever. No, No. To me, the worst Iron Bowl loss that I ever experienced was as a young man in 2010, the comeback. Mark Ingram fumbles through the end zone at the end of the first half, and I am beyond inebriated in Bryant-Denny Stadium, screaming lots of things that are not appropriate for the microphone at Cam Newton the entire time. But then second half, he comes out with that big old smile. Lutzenkirchen scores right in front of my face, and they get rolling. And I thought, there's no way this is happening. I think I smoked 8 boxes of cigarettes that night. I'm serious. Not 8 cigarettes. I was already a cigarette smoker at that time. I don't smoke anymore. Don't do that, kids. It's a bad habit. It's a terrible habit. But like, I sat there outside my apartment just chain smoking in shock the entire night. And I was like, people are calling me, people are texting me, nothing. And I'm just like, what in the world happened? Cam Newton holds a special place even in my mind as an Alabama graduate. Watching that in person was absurd. And so, like, does he deserve to have his number retired in the Auburn annals and the Auburn lore? Yes, he does. But it's not a good way to honor your legends to me.
I don't agree with that take at all. I think that having that number.
I mean, I will say Cam Newton made the number 2 cool. No, people weren't really wearing 2 that much to my recollection. But then Jalen Hurts is wearing 2. Like, he made number 2 cool.
I think personally, it should all come down to the athlete.
Okay.
I think personally, if I'm an athlete and if I have that kind of success like Cam did, I want my number retired there. And I don't want anyone to ever wear it again. Absolutely. The school should
retire. But here's the deal. When you see 22, when you see Mark Ingram wear 22, when you see Najee Harris wear 22, it upholds the legacy of the number. You've got to live up to Johnny Musso, right? You got to live up to these legends that come before you. And so when Mark Ingram wears 22 and starts rumbling and beating people up in 09 and 10, people think, man, he looks kind of like Johnny Musso, just running through everybody. And then it's Najee Harris wearing number 22. And it's like, well, buddy, you better be as good as Mark Ingram and Johnny Musso. And he was. And so it's like, when people are wearing 12 at Alabama, you're thinking about these legends. Like, the legacy carries on. And every time they wear the number, that's when, oh man, I remember when Johnny Musso had his jersey ripped off. Those tearaway jerseys were beautiful. We need to have those tearaway jerseys back. And people, you've got, we've heard it on this show with a couple of guests of, I had a 22 jersey that I ripped up in my backyard so I could look just like Johnny Musso. And it's just like, the Devontae Smith, the next receiver that wears 6. I'm sorry, Kobe Prentice. Didn't Kobe wear 6? Yeah. But like, buddy, you let's be honest, fail. Like, pass or fail. and so are you bold enough to wear a legend's number? I saw somebody in our YouTube comments this fall camp. We're filming out there, and we put up the film, and somebody goes, pretty bold to wear number 8 as a wide receiver. And it's like, honestly, yeah, man, Julio Jones right here in Tuscaloosa made 8 a popular number. If a receiver is wearing 8 again and is dominant, they're going to say, man, he reminds Sedarian Morgan when he comes to Tuscaloosa needs to wear number 8. Just go ahead and throw it on, buddy. You got a big old bar to reach. Let's see if you can reach it.
Okay, but you alluded to part of the problem there a minute ago.
Sure.
Kobe Prentice comes out, wears number 6. That's disrespectful. I mean, that's Smith's number. That's a number that, if we were a program that retired numbers, would get strong consideration.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
I think it probably
you
would.
Win a Heisman Trophy, you're in that area.
Yeah. Trophy and a championship. Absolutely. And were you not watching Kobe Prentice out there wearing number 6? Do you not feel like a little like, oh, come on, how are you going to wear this number and struggle like this out on the field? I think.
What about our boy Richard Young wearing number 9? These exact same jersey as Bryce Young, number and name on the back. Marketing genius, Richard Young, perfect.
Yeah,
like, not only are you it's a cool single digit number, but you can wear number 9 and get people to buy the jersey, and they're thinking, oh, I'm buying me a Bryce Young jersey. Heck yeah. And his NIL check is going.
Dude, that never even crossed my mind. Wow.
It's genius.
It is. That is genius. That is very cool. Like, I respect the fact that Alabama's decided, yeah, we'll let these numbers stay in circulation. But I just think, man, when you go to Yankee Stadium and you walk through Monument Park and you see these retired numbers and the history around it, it is one of the coolest experiences in sports. I think just anytime you see numbers, whether it's at a basketball game hanging in the rafters or whether, you're looking at them up on the football stadium, I think there should always be some kind of statue of the player too. And
sure.
I love the idea of retiring numbers. I just fundamentally think it is one of the coolest things a team can do for one of their star players.
Well, Cam Newton's jersey is retired, whether we like it or not, no matter what side of the argument you're on. What side of the argument? Where do you fall on these claims of national champion? Now, I did not mean to do this yesterday. Yesterday, I'm in the facility, and I'm trying to take a photo that just shows that we're in the facility for the last day of camp. And this was just serendipity luck. I don't want to take a photo of the other reporters because I don't want to put people's faces out there that don't want to be on my Twitter. It's fine. And we're not quite at practice yet. And we've missed the window of taking the picture outside the facility. So we're in the practice facility waiting to go out to the field. And so I just turn and I take a picture of the national championship wall. I'm like, I didn't even think about this. I take a picture of the national championship wall and I say, last media viewing of the year, right, of fall camp. And I tweet it. And when we get back in the media room, somebody goes, "Oh, Joe, I just saw your tweet." I'm like, what do you mean? It was, you took a picture of the national championship wall to troll Auburn. And I was like, oh, dude, no, I didn't even think about that. But people on my side, they took it that way. People definitely took it that way, which is fine. But I just thought, man, sometimes you stumble into something good. Auburn claiming 9 more national championships. Now, 83 and 2004 are really the only ones that I'm kind of familiar with from a historical standpoint. 2004's team was bad, but so was USC and so was Oklahoma that year. You just ended up going undefeated in a year that had 2 teams that were 1 and 2 all year long also go undefeated. 04 from a nostalgic standpoint, I'll concede, and 83 from a historical standpoint, I'll concede as well. I don't really care about it though. If they want to say that they've won 9 championships, they added 7. Right, they added 7, so they're up to 9.
4.
I think they added 7. They were at 2. I think they added 7, and now they're claiming 9 national championships.
Okay. I thought the number was 4. I must have been thought it was lower.
That's okay, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. They're claiming 9 national championships now. I mean, Alabama's claiming 18, and you go onto the Wikipedia page, you see 5 unclaimed championships. So some people can go Alabama 23-time national champion. I don't really. This is a discussion that took off yesterday, but I don't really care. If you're an Auburn fan and you want to say we're a 9-time champion, great. Put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Put it on a T-shirt and sell that baby.
I love the fact that UCF is willing to put 2017 national champions up in the bounds. I love that.
Even though Alabama's the national champion that year?
Yeah, I think I just deep down, I respect the move to have the guts to go out and do that. Look at Alabama's 1941 championship, man. It is so rough. It is. You got shut out by Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. You lost 2 games. You finished 20th in the poll, and you claimed a national championship.
I'm sorry. I was reading a tweet. Which year?
1941.
Alabama or
Alabama?
Auburn? Yeah, exactly.
It is just some of these old championships. Not to be
silly.
Disrespectful of the past, but it genuinely does not matter now.
I was on the radio yesterday with WNSP, and they were asking me about it, and I was like, "Great!" They're like, "You don't butthurt about it? You're not upset?" I'm like, "1910, buddy, of course, there's some historical elements that matter from 1910. We should all study history and know what happened in all these years before we were there. And like my knowledge of history is pretty basic, but I passed American history and I passed world history in my time. Yep. So I've got the basics down pat. But like when it comes to who won the national, I don't care that Harvard has however many championships and Yale has however many championships. Like I really do. It doesn't matter to me. Now I do want to, honor some of those great players and think about some of those great players just to, have them in my mind here and there. But like, it doesn't matter to me. Like it's very cool that Alabama won the Rose Bowl in 1921 or whatever, the first Southern team to go out there and win the Rose Bowl. Well, like, does it matter to me that that's a national championship year? No, it doesn't. The actual history is riding the train and going out to the Rose Bowl and winning. So great, Auburn. You're 9-time national champions. Hugh Freeze, you won seven titles in one night. Congratulations.
Like you just look at some of these claims. Do you know who Joe? Do you know? I'm gonna ask you who has the most claimed championships. Which school?
It's Harvard. It's Yale, right? It's Harvard or Yale, right?
So it's Yale at 27 and Princeton at 28.
Okay, Princeton.
Those are the top two.
Yeah, great.
Princeton claims the 1869 national championship.
Great, they won it.
There was one football game played that year.
We're the champs, baby.
They won the first ever football game and told the world they were national champions.
Hey,
1, 2.
Princeton is Tigers. Princeton Tigers. Yep.
Give me one sec. 21 of their 28 claimed national titles are before the year 1900.
Oh, great.
And basically every year and Yale claims most of those years as well. This is hilarious.
Right. So like it doesn't people were losing their minds over it yesterday. Oh, Auburn's got to, and then the Auburn faithful too. Auburn we're 9-time champs. It's like great. Print it on the merchandise. Put it all on the stadium cups this year. Like it's great. No big deal. I didn't care about it. Do you?
Not really, but I love. I'm a bit of a history buff just overall, so I love looking back at stories about old sports and looking at Alabama's the 1930 college basketball champion.
Yeah.
Like that's cool to me when you look into story. I think it was Emily Smar who wrote a very nice piece about that.
Roll Tide.
It's cool to look at.
I'm taking that into my group chat today when they tell me that Alabama's not a basketball school.
Yeah, no, we've won a national championship.
We have this argument every year. Y'all aren't a basketball school. You haven't won anything. And then these guys, Theo told me for years, you haven't been to a Final Four. You haven't been to a Final Four. And the second we go to a Final Four, the argument goes, well, you haven't won a national championship. We haven't won an. And I'm like, you turds.
I'm going to throw some free game out there for everyone listening. Whoever needs to get a Tennessee fan to shut up. If y'all were not aware, Tennessee has the most NCAA tournament wins of any school to never make a Final Four.
Oh, that's so sad.
So y'all do whatever you want with that one.
So tragic.
It's a very fun stat to have in your back pocket.
All right, so let's move off the Auburn Tigers and back to Alabama.
With that being said, if Auburn's doing this, we should put up the 1930 national champion banner in Coleman, right?
So we're claiming 23 titles, right? Alabama needs to drop the 1941 claim.
Yeah, like what are we doing here?
Just go ahead and claim 22 total. Drop 41. Drop the 41 title, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
There we go. We can put 22 on all the helmets and all the merchandise. All right, so let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about Brian Robinson and talk about just whatever else is left on the table.
Northport Lions Club and St. Mark Church present a free health fair in honor of Dr. Norman and Jean Carlson, Saturday, August 23rd, 8:30 till noon. That'll be in the St. Mark Family Life Center. Northport citizens can get free eye, hearing, and blood pressure screenings, diabetes testing, and more. Now, the first 100 people get a free biscuit, and free Domino's pizza slices will be served at 11, along with free snow cones and drinks from Buffalo Rock. Sponsors include Alabama Lions Site, Ascent Audiology, DCEH Regional Medical Center, West Alabama Food Bank, Special Olympics, Northport Police Department, U of A Institute for Rural Health, the Alabama Department of Public Health, and others. A Northport Fire Department truck will be on site, and there will be lots of fun kids' activities. The Northport Lions St. Mark Health Fair. See you Saturday, August 23rd.
Get ready, Tuscaloosa. New Era Wrestling presents the Crimson Clash. The hottest local wrestling show in town slams into Two Dimes on Thursday, September 11th. Witness the chaos as social media sensation Big Trouble Ben Bishop brings his larger-than-life swagger to the ring. The man is 6'12". He weighs 15% of a metric ton and is bringing every bit to Tuscaloosa. Feel the heat when our new champion Sleazy C. Caden Newton defends the open title, and don't miss the brutal street fight between the modern-day Kings and the unstoppable force known as the Draw. It's the same weekend as Alabama hosting Wisconsin, so keep the Tuscaloosa energy high with the Crimson Clash. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the bell rings at 8 p.m. at Two Dimes on the Strip. Grab your tickets now on Eventbrite by searching New Era Wrestling and use promo code RADIO for 20% off. New Era Wrestling, where legends are made and the battles are epic. And we are back here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. Big thanks to Derek Daniel for sponsoring the program. Call him today for all your insurance needs, 205-758-3391. If you want to participate in the show, you can do so by leaving a comment at Theo Fernandez _ at Joe Gaither 6. You can leave a comment at BamaCentral or jump on the voicemail line. It's real easy, 205-462-7340, extension 800. It'll ring a couple times, and then you can leave as long a voicemail as you want. Well, really 5 minutes is your time, and I'll play all 5 minutes right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. Let's move to a little pro football because this intersects with my Bears just a little bit, but it's Alabama-centric and it's really Tuscaloosa-centric. Brian Robinson Jr., Hillcrest High School, go Patriots. Hillcrest High School's own Brian Robinson Jr. is on the trade block for the Washington Commanders, and I don't know what to make of this because it sounds like the reports, Theo, are that Washington thinks he's washed. Now, I did my Bears podcast last night. If you guys want just Bears-specific stuff, it's Believe in Monsters, right, is the name of the podcast. And my co-host was asking us about this. And essentially, he said, no, they don't think he's washed. That's not what's going on. What is going on is that Brian Robinson wants a bigger role, wants to be really kind of lead dog, only dog, solo running back, and Washington's trying to do running back by committee. Everybody gets a touch, everybody gets a turn, and Brian Robinson's upset about that because I think he's probably look up when he was drafted. He's probably up for a contract by the end of the year. So they put him on the bench on Monday, whatever they're on Monday night, I think is when their preseason game was. They didn't even play him at all. I don't even think he dressed, and I don't even think he was with the team.
He did not.
So he's basically just off to the side, stashed off to the side because they don't want to put him in a game and get him hurt and ruin the trade value. But they are apparently shopping Brian Robinson Jr., Hillcrest High School's own Hillcrest Patriot. And Alabama's own. So what do you make of this situation? Is Brian Robinson washed? I mean, Washington, you're seeing reports talking about, a playoff game against Detroit. He didn't run the ball very hard. He didn't get north and south. He didn't run downhill very well, blah, blah, blah. You're seeing bad reports on his play, a little. You're seeing reports of wanting a bigger role. Now, when it was thrown to me last night, I said, no, I don't want our Bears to trade for Brian Robinson because I don't want to give up any assets, really, any future assets. But what I think might happen, and I'm about to clear the lane for you, Theo, and let you go. But I think what might happen is that Washington does not find any trade suitors, and they end up just cutting him at final cuts because of either their opinion of him. Maybe Brian is disgruntled with the franchise. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. But if they end up letting him walk, then I would like for my Bears to swoop in and add him to the roster. So let's throw it to Theo, clear the lane. What do you think is going on with Brian Robinson? What do you think is going to happen with Brian Robinson? Why has this relationship between Robinson and the Commanders seemed to have eroded? Because it seemed for a while they loved each other.
I think something weird's going on in Washington right now. I mean, you're all lined up for some crazy success.
Full stop.
Yeah. And I mean, look at what's going on with McLaurin, too. Another I mean, McLaurin's been there since 2019 at this point. Star player, and you've got such a weird situation there. Look, at the end of the day, I don't have that much of a strong connection to Brian Robinson. I've not been here when he was playing, and so my whole opinion of him has always just been formed from a fantasy football perspective / watching the Giants.
Underrated fantasy football. You get him in the late rounds, and he becomes a stud.
I mean, he's had right around 800 rush yards every year of his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's good for another 200, 300 in the passing game. He's a very quality player, but he's nothing special. And he's the caliber player where I just don't think it makes a lot of sense for a team like Washington to pay him what he wants to get paid. And then the trade block thing is rough because he's drafted 3rd round 2022.
I've got the contract right here.
Going into the final year of his deal.
Yep.
You're paying him pennies right now. It's great value for this season. It makes no sense for Brian Robinson to try to go out and play on this contract.
Pennies, $3.4 million.
Yeah, it just...
Pennies.
You should not go out and play football on that contract if you're Brian Robinson.
Yeah, because $3.4 million is pennies.
All it takes.
I'm just poking you.
You know where I'm going with this. All it takes.
That is great value for a running back.
It is.
It is not. That is way more than pennies to most of our listeners.
You take one hit, and
$3.4 million pennies.
Yeah, you're losing out on another $20 million.
Are you? Running back shelf life is not long. Not long.
You look at the deal that Cam Akers signed. I think it was 3 years, $39 million.
Dude, are you? Do you need to be drug tested? Cam Akers signed. Cam Akers is on a 1 year, $1.7 million contract with the Saints.
No, Cam Akers definitely.
Yeah, you're on some drugs.
Was it James Cook?
Okay, James Cook maybe.
Could have sworn Cam Akers signed an extension.
James Cook from Spotrac signed is on the last year of his deal, right? 4 years, $46 million contract. There we go. There you go. 4 years, $46 million contract for James Cook.
Yeah, I don't know where I came with Cam Akers from.
That's okay. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Because I don't know I think that this is the last year of Brian's current rookie deal, and he needs to cash in on the next deal. Period. Because this is the swing. This is the big bite at the apple.
Yeah, I mean, you always hear about guys. Oh, you're going into your contract year. Have the big season, but we've seen running backs mess things up in this year, whether it's an injury or whether it's an underwhelming season. Lose out on potentially huge paydays. I think that if I was an NFL running back, would absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, be holding out and trying to get that contract as soon as I can. And you look, another Breece Hall is in the exact same situation right now. Another 2022 late round pick. I personally think Breece Hall is a little more of an impactful player than Brian Robinson. I think that he is an absolute stud and a guy who would have, not that Robinson isn't, I think Breece Hall is just a slightly better option. I think most analysts would agree. And that's something where those two drive each other's trade values down because there are two guys available now instead of just one. So I think for Washington, I just don't know if it's worth signing Brian Robinson to that deal. I think you try everything you can to get him to come back.
I don't think Washington wants him back. That's what the Washington side is. We don't want you. You're washed.
Yeah, but you obviously want him to come back and play for $3.4 million.
Yeah, his dead cap hit, if they move on from him, is pennies, $280K.
I can't see them actually doing that. I think you're keeping him on the roster. I think you're saying, all right, man, hold out. We'll see you week 6. Because at the end of the day, Washington really, really needs his production.
They apparently love this rookie that they got.
Yeah, I keep hearing
Huge huge rookie draft class for our lads Commanders.
I got this guy's name. I was reading up on him a few days ago.
Yeah, huge rookie class. Let's see, running back. They got Eckler too. Ja'Cory Cronky-Merritt. Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, Crosky-Merritt. They're talking a lot about
Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt.
Eckler's washed, man.
But yes, Eckler's definitely washed.
Definitional. I just think. Yeah.
So I'm drafting this Crosky-Merritt guy in my last round. Is that right? Is that what I need to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a solid option. Although I think you'd probably get him off waivers.
Yeah, but my league's actually good. People are paying attention.
People are paying attention. Okay. Is there a BamaCentral league that's going to start up?
Rumors of one. There has been for each year that I've been, but I'll tell you about half the players that half the owners usually take it seriously, and the other half don't even look at it.
Well, I'll be taking it seriously.
It'll be between you and Henry. Last year, okay, so there was a beat writers league. This is probably where my adversity, my negative feelings with Henry come in, and we may deal with this on Friday. We had a beat writers league, and it was the same way.
I was not invited, by the way.
Right. It was the same because Tony Sakalis ran it. Mm-hmm. And so Tony basically had it full, and you had about half of the beat writers pay attention to it and about the other half not. And I was in the not category, but Henry was in the paying attention to it. And he came up to me one of the weeks that we were apparently playing and was like, I'm going to beat your tail this week. And I'm like, buddy, I haven't logged into that league all year. Like, you really want to be like doing this? And he did. And I was like, okay, good for you. Your team's going to win against a team that is probably playing 3 guys on injured reserve. Like,
why are we joining leagues and not take? Because I say this because Henry went 2-10 in my league that I ran with my roommates' friends because he didn't take it seriously.
Because there was no money. There's no money involved. I'm paying attention to the leagues that are going to, hey, and your boy won $500-600 last year because I pay attention to the leagues that I invest money in. I invested no money into the Beat Writers League. I invested no money into the BamaCentral League. It was all about the Brick Squad League and all about the Good Times Bad Times League.
I think personally, as the guy who's usually the commissioner of a bunch of leagues, I'm real selective on who I let in now because I feel disrespected. If you're going to join my league, you better be taking it seriously. It takes 45 seconds to set a fantasy team.
Right. And so what usually ended up happening last year was it's Sunday morning. Oh, I haven't set my team. I'll set it up. And it's like, well, I missed the waiver wire this week.
And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're fielding a competitive squad. Like, don't go out and
competitive in quotes, right?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, Billy did get hurt. I guess I got to get a replacement real quick. Let me drop him on Sunday morning and find some after the waiver wire's been picked clean.
I'm okay with that. If you can, that's the bare minimum right there. But
right, and so it's obvious, Henry, that I was not paying attention. But I fielded a team. But in these other leagues on Tuesday morning. Oh, who's on the waiver wire? Who am I going after? We're trying to win some money.
Every year, Joe, I either have a good March Madness bracket or a good fantasy football season. And my March Madness bracket this year was god awful.
Okay, great.
So I'm in for a big year.
Well, we'll in the BamaCentral League, I'll field my own team. Here's what we'll do. Since nobody's listening at this point, you will field our teams, and at the trade deadline, after Henry's been talking a bunch of, all kinds of stuff, because he will, because I will trade you all my good players after not paying attention.
Okay.
So that we can stack the deck. The Joe Gaither Show team ran and fielded by Theo Fernandez.
There we go.
General Manager Theo Fernandez.
General Manager. I like that.
There we go. All right. We got to get out of here because nobody's listening at this point.
Yeah, we went off on that tangent, huh?
But I got Brian Robinson in that competitive league. I ended up keeping him because we can do keepers up to however many. And I don't know if I feel good about it.
I'd be concerned.
Because if he's sitting on the bench, not doing anything, just twiddling his thumbs, I think that's going to be a wasted pick. Can I go back to the commissioner and be like, let me drop him back into the pot?
May as well. Dude, I still have flashbacks from drafting Le'Veon Bell and then him holding out the entire season.
I loved Le'Veon.
He was awesome for a little.
His vision, and his patience and his explosion. Oh, he was so great until he wasn't.
Which flipped very fast.
Yes, he
Very
fell off a
fast.
cliff. He fell off an absolute cliff.
Ask a Jets fan about Le'Veon Bell, and you'll get a very different take than what we remember.
Yeah, I had a team one year that was Bell and Brown at the same time, and when they were at their peak with the Steelers, and it was just automatic, putting them in there. Oh, these guys will give me 50 combined points this week. Perfect.
I can't believe Blake Bortles beat those guys in the playoffs. That was awesome.
What are we doing today? We're talking to Kane Womack. We're talking to select defensive players on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. You guys can find that here in just a minute. What should we ask Kane Womack? What should we get into with Kane? Let's finish it right here.
I mean, he's going to be asked, or at least the players are going to be asked about what they're seeing out of these three running backs, right?
Oh, my gosh. Don't do that. Do not do that.
We love asking players about guys that play on the opposite side.
Oh, man, they're really good. They're all running the ball hard. They're all working hard. They're all hard to tackle. Whoa. We're really proud of them. We believe in those three guys. We know the Jam's working hard to get back, but for now, we believe in those guys.
Yeah, that sums it up right there.
Thanks for your answer, sir. You know what? We need to ask Kane Womack about this Florida State offensive line.
We do.
I think I need to figure out some sort of way to ask that.
This guy Gunnar Hansen, that left tackle they got transferring in,
they got some. He
looks really good. And what Adrian Medley, I think, is his name.
They got some huge. They got some massive men.
I think the offensive line.
Would this be the only time we get them before game week? I think we might get them on Monday again. But I'm pretty sure Monday is reserved for I'm pretty sure they won't be pressed this coming Monday. They'll be pressed next Monday after the game, recapping the game. So I think this might be our last time. I don't think we're getting the coordinators and head coach on this coming up Monday. So, yeah, this is the time to ask Womack about this offensive line.
Yeah, I've got to go meet with the professor. I got to lock in and be a student for a little, so I won't be there. But you got to ask him about the O-line, I'd say. And do you think it's a stretch to say that maybe the offensive line is the best overall unit on this FSU team? I mean, we haven't seen them play together, but they're just...
Don't disrespect Roydell Williams.
I just think that line is...
Don't disrespect Earl Little Jr. No, I think you're right. Yeah. I think if it's not the best, it's one of the top two units on the team.
Because we haven't seen them play together.
Sure.
But, and now, mind you, like their right guard, and I forget the guy's name, he's the only returning guy. And I think, like, he missed time with injury. Like, he was a really good player. They got, I want to say, Wake Forest, UCF.
Wake Forest center. They ended up with UCF guard. They ended up with Vanderbilt tackle and Ole Miss tackle. Let's see. You got across the board Gunnar Hansen, Adrian Medley. That's the transfer from UCF. Luke Pettibon is from Wake Forest. Richie Leonard IV is your returner. And Micah Pettis, I believe, is from Ole Miss.
Just a bunch of guys who were really successful.
Toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we?
Man, we need James Smith out there.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
So that might be the follow-up. Well, how's James doing? Well, we lost power, unfortunately, right here in the studio. So we're going to end the show right there. Hope you guys all have a great day. Wild times. We're going to have a great time over in the Malmore Athletic Facility. Keep up with us on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.